Welcome back here to Maiponga Beach. It's quite a drab morning. It's probably about 95% low cloud. Forecast was about 60. So I was hoping to come out and be able to get some real fab movement in the clouds with some long exposures, but that's not going to be. So we'll just see what we can produce here. The reason why I've returned to Maiponga is because we've got a high tide. I'm going to have to rush because that's starting to go out. So all the sticks here are in water, which is fantastic for what we want to do today. So I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get a shot or two of this now, and then if the light improves slightly, so that I can see a bit better, just off here to your left, there are some nice rock formations. Apparently, just around the corner, about 10-minute walk. 10-minute walk normally. In the dark with a head torch, it might take a little longer, but we'll see how we go. So let me crack on and get this couple of shots of this jetty while it's completely in the water, and then we'll wander down and have a little look to see what we can find along that way. I'll take this opportunity while this exposure is running here behind me, is that this is the first year, this year for 2023, I'm going to create a calendar of images for next year. Now, I've threatened to do it before for several years and being to be honest, lazy and leaving it far too late. So, but this year I'm going to do it. And what I'm proposing is that I'm going to put up a series of images over the past few months, so from December through to now. Any images that are taken that month, I'm going to put them up, and I'm going to ask you, the viewers, I'm going to ask you to choose which is your favourite, and then from that's the one that's going to end up in next year's calendar. So I'm a little excited about that. I might cheat here and there because one or two shoots have produced 5 or 6 really good images, and I'm not sure that we can pare them down and only go with one. So I might cheat and spread a couple of months over a couple of my location shoots. So we'll just have to see. So look out for that. I'm probably gonna show that in the next week or so. So please, if you want, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it. I would love for you to choose the images that go into next year's calendar. I'm going to whiz back to the original position. This time I'm just going to use the polarizer slightly to see through the water. I often, when it's grey like this and I'm thinking black and white, I often like the glare. I like that light reflected sky back in the water, but this time I'm going to use the polarizer and darken the foreground so we can actually see some of the rocks, some of the detail of the rocks under the water. Let me show you that polarizer. So this is with the polarizer not on, and if I turn this polarizer slightly, you'll see that foreground darkening and there's more detail in that cloud. So that's what the polarizer does in this case. So I've took a shot with the polarizer, I'm now going to take one without. And oops, oh, these waves are coming in. We'll give that one more go. Rafi has stepped back. He's wise. He reads these waves well. I'm just going to These rocks we've just come across here are just magnificent. Yep. Just realised I've left the 17 at home. I had it out a couple of days ago, but I swapped it this morning for my 100 to 200. So is it wide enough? It is just wide enough, yes. Okay, just there will be a need for some filters here. We have no colour, which is a pity. It would be fabulous with a touch of colour, but that's just the way it is. So we're in a 3 seconds. I'm probably going to get that down to that's at f16. Let's make sure we focused a third of the way in. I'm going to raise the ISO slightly and drop. Down to, we may actually go up to f18. F18, 1 second, ISO 100. It's not giving me enough shadows, so I'm just going to raise it to 125. So 125, 1 second, f18 is giving me what looks like a balanced exposure. It's a little dark on the rocks, but that's okay, because as with most cameras these days, dynamic range is awesome, and gaining the shadows is much less of a chore and easier to do than trying to handle the highlights now. That looks good, so we will have to put a grad on. Oh, there's a couple of, you can see there's a couple of bright spots due to no cloud. So I'm just going to put on a 1.2 soft grad. Bring that down just to balance, pull that sky down a touch. And then, as we said, we adjusted our composition so the histogram was lovely, or acceptable anyway, to 1 second. And then we know that if we put in, a mistake, let's see straight through that. I knew that was a 3-stop. If we throw in the 6-stop, the 6-stop will give us a 1 minute exposure. Now you've got to be quite quick when you do these calculations, because especially at dawn, because the light's increasing, so you want to do this as quickly as possible. So we've got 1 second exposure, 6-stop gives us 1 minute, f18, ISO 125. Let's go. Capture that light before it gets too bright. Beautiful though, isn't it? Just cresting up over that hill, those crepuscular rays, absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful. Who could ask for anything more? It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm taking a couple of shots here. I've just taken a 20-second shot, a 1-second shot, and now a 60-second shot, just to get in as much of this as I can. This last shot will actually blow out the highlights, but it's for the shadows in the foreground. Oh, what a beautiful morning. So while we're playing with this at the moment, rain may affect play. At the moment it's just started to spit, so fingers crossed that we're okay. I'm thinking of putting the 10 stop on and doing a longer exposure here. So that's, I think, what we're going to do. Yes, we did. 6 stop. So 10 stop should give us around the 3-minute mark. So I may want to adjust that back to 2 minutes. So I'll probably move from, I'll try 2 minutes. We'll try 2 minutes and see if we can pull that out the bag. Very slight adjustment to that composition, and let's give that a go. 2-second timer. 2-minute exposure while that's sun. I don't think it's going to pop out anytime soon, fingers crossed. Stays behind that cloud, we'll get a full 2 minutes in, so that's all good. So that's nice, yeah, that's nice. I think it's well exposed. I do think I can push it a touch further. And also there's a gap, a blue gap in the cloud there. So if I lower the composition more and focus even more on this very strong foreground, and as I said, I could do longer. I could do longer, so what do I do? Sod it. If I'm doing longer, I'll need to go up to, I won't go any further than F20, and I will push it to 4 minutes, and there we go. I want that cloud hopefully will scud across and create these horizontal lines across above where our headland is, and then that would form sort of this would be pointing out to the headland and all that scuddiness that I love. And the water will be absolutely flat with a 4-minute exposure. I'm going to try and get down really low. We might be able to squeeze in one last shot here. So I'm going to get down very low. I'm probably going to extend out these legs. I'll take the center column out. Get very low indeed. So center column's coming out. And I'm going to put this with the filter set. And like I said before on one of these videos, I've took this off. I put it down on a black rock just like that, and then walked off and forgot it. And it was never ever to be seen again. Come on, here, come here. There's a stone. Come on, come here. Come over here. Come over here. Come on, there you go. Ready? Here it is. Here it is. Go get it. So the composition is about these lines leading you in to the headland, and then sort of framed in the backdrop are these absolutely beautiful moody clouds, which you can see are quite dark, so we may get a touch of rain. I couldn't care less. Out and about enjoying the fresh air and the countryside is just awesome. So no, couldn't care less. It could, well, I was going to say, thunder and lightning, that would be a bonus, but all the same, I'm content and happy just to be out and about and being here with you and with Rafi. And speaking of which, he's very quiet. I think he needs a stone, so there we go. And that is, yep, that's come out well. Let's just check the okay, we've probably got one more in us. That cloud's getting very dense. So what we may do, I may shift down to the other side and do a super low shot. And I am remembering to pick up my filters and my tripod section, which during this exposure I am going to drop back on my bag so that I just will not forget it. There you go, nice and simple. Nice and simple. The light hasn't changed, so that's straight in, focused on the foreground rocks, f/16, 4 minutes, 10 stop and a 1.2 soft grad. Not simple. When you get light like this and it's just consistent, it's so easy. You can shoot all day without really adjusting your settings, and you can see the clouds thickening, so some nice shards of light coming through, which I'm hoping will translate as it moves across with some nice interest, almost like the tail lights of cars, or headlights, as it shoots across the scene like this. So if we've got the exposure right and we've got the shutter length correct, that's what you might see. You might just see that light edging across the scene at the top, just pulling in some interest at the top and hopefully framing it. 9 times out of 10, the best way in which to photograph these scudding clouds is either when it's going away from you or coming towards you, because it gives you that that dynamic movement of just of either going out into infinity or coming in to your position on the camera. But now and then, if the elements work right, if it's moving horizontally, it can work. So I'm hoping here, as I said, it comes off that headland, and if it sort of like has bars and it frames the top, it's almost like layers in the sky of framing that background. So fingers crossed, we'll see what we get. Thank you for joining me here at my Ponga. Had a wonderful morning. I hope you have too. I hope we got some good shots. If not, the compositions are definitely here. So it's one that I'll have a look when I get back home on the computer. And if my compositions are off, then I'll know I can come and return and take some time crafting them a bit better. But I've thoroughly enjoyed today. No colour. But beautiful, dramatic, moody skies, and the water's always a pleasure to be in and around. If you've enjoyed this, then please consider giving it a like. Give me a comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. If you want to know anything about a bit more, if you want to know about my filters, if you want to know about the camera, if you want to know about the vlogging equipment that I've got, then just give me a shout and just let me know, and I'll do my best to do that. But from here, from my Ponga, from Rafi and I, take care wherever you are, look after you and yours, and see ya.